Okay, this video is going to go over the stay command, which, as I'm sure you know, is the hardest command for puppies to learn, since naturally puppies want to run, jump, play, explore, sniff everything, and sitting still is not really on their agenda, especially when they're asked to versus just when they get tired and plop down. So we take this in really small, steady chunks and teach it step by step. So I'm going to walk you through those steps now, just in case we see some regression. Then you can take a few steps back if need be, which, just to give you a heads up, if we see regression in command work, it usually is with stay. So I want to tell you exactly how we teach it so you can take those steps back and build them back up, and then build beyond that with consistency. This is one that you will need to set aside a structured training session for. Now, there's a few ways we'll build it into our routine as well. I'll go over that at the end. But for now, I'm going to walk you through the steps. Let me know if they make sense. I'm going to do it without them first because I need to be focused on them if I'm expecting them to be focused on this hard command too. So first thing we're going to do is put them on place. Then we're going to have them sit or lay down. Then I'm going to give them that hand signal for stay and say stay. And then I'm going to stand still myself, and I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, maybe in the beginning, and every 10 seconds, I'm going, yes, good stay. Now, if they seem like they're getting antsy, I'm going to say break, give them an actual break, and then I'll bring them back in a few minutes or a minute later and have them regroup and try it again. Or if they seem focused still and they're eager to earn the next treat, then I'll give them the stay signal again. We'll say stay. And then maybe it's another 10 seconds or maybe it's 20, but you're going to build up little by little in each training session. Now, this is going to need to be a true training session, but it doesn't need to be long. It can be 5, max 10 minutes that you're working with them, but it doesn't need to be like half an hour of your time to set aside to work on stay. It won't work. Their attention spans are so low, and this is taking so much mental energy for them to sit and stay that you don't need to dedicate a huge chunk of time. Better to do it multiple times per day in practice than just trying to do it all in one go. We do tiny training sessions throughout the day and tons, and then we build all of our training into play as well. We're randomly calling them over for touch and stay. We're randomly telling, or touch and come, and we're randomly telling them look and settle and things like that when they're out and about too. So a lot of it is just built in once they're grasping a command. And then stay, we're practicing a few times a day in short little chunks. So anyway, so once they are doing it every 10, maybe it's every 20, 30, so on and so forth. And then once they can stay for a solid 2 minutes on the placemat in a sit or a down, then we'll start working on distance. And we're going to take that nice and slow too. So we're going to put them on place, sit or down, stay. We'll take one step back. And then we're going to meet them at the placemat at first, just so they fully understand that they are getting rewarded for being on the placemat still. And then maybe the next training session is 2 steps back. And then maybe the next one is 3. And then the next one can be 4, and you get the point, so on and so forth. And then once they can get to about 8 to 10 steps away from the placemat, then we'll start breaking them at a distance. So then we'll start far away and we'll be like, yes, Lucy, good, stay. And then we'll say break. At that point, she'll probably run to you to earn her treat. But if not, then it's okay. If you say break, she can go play and do whatever. Break is not an actual command. It is a signal to them that their work is over. So I don't think I mentioned that in the place video. So just keep that in mind, that when you break them from place, or if you use break when they're in a heel on the leash, you don't need to say yes, good break, because it's not a command. It is their signal that the work is over. But anyway, so once we're 8 to 10 steps away, we can start breaking them at a distance, always saying yes, good, stay first before we say break. Then after that, we're going to start turning our back, because it's really not practical to have a puppy that knows to stay, but we have to be facing them the whole time. It's not applicable to real life. How often will we have them stay? Then we're going to walk straight back. Probably never. So in that circumstance, we're going to start working on it to turn. So we're going to walk through the progression again. We can either start with just time again. Never hurts to take all the steps back, or you can go straight to distance, because if they're doing it consistently 8 to 10 steps away with you facing them, then chances are they're going to be able to move through this progression fast. But anyway, that is the next step. We're going to turn our back. I'm going to say stay, and we might start with just the 1 step back or the 2 steps back, whatever it may be. All the way to building up to that 8 to 10 steps and breaking them again at a distance. And the next step beyond that is to turn your head, because at this point when we're turning our feet, we are looking over our shoulder and we've got our hand out for stay to remind them. But then the next step is turning your head and dropping your hand. So we do this because it makes it a little easier for them to comprehend the command when you're just doing it step by step. and building up versus expecting them to do it right away. It's frustrating for them. It's frustrating for you. It's just easier this way to build them up over time, walk through that progression. It does take a bit of time, certainly not something we can always accomplish in the 2 weeks, but with practice at home, they will get there. Lucy, come. Come. Yes, good come, Lucy. Yes, I dropped the tree. You can have that one. Good girl. Okay, Lucy, place. Did you find the crumbs that I dropped? Place. Yes, good girl. Sit. Lucy, sit. Yes, good job. Great girl. Okay, Lucy, stay. Sit. Stay. Yes, good, stay. So warm up quick with just some time. Okay, Lucy. Lucy, stay. Break. Okay. I do have one of my other trainers' dogs out here. She brought him for the day for them to wear out, and they just ran by. So I think that was a little distracting. But we are up to about 4 to 5 steps away with her. Sometimes, though, it's not. It just depends on the training session, so it's a little inconsistent as of now. But up until a few days ago, we were just doing time. She really was having trouble with that. The settle command is helping too, just with her impulse control. So the fact that we've been able to do 4 or 5 steps, I'm excited about. So definitely with this one, will take a little bit more practice. She's a little better than Bowie is. Bowie, we're only doing a couple steps away at this point. He was really struggling with time as well. He's just so excited and wants love and he wants to be in your arms. So asking him to stay and then you're walking away is really tough for him, but he will get there as well. All right, Lucy, sit. Yes, good girl. Okay, Lucy. Lucy, sit. Stay. Lucy, stay. Okay. I was not expecting that. Lucy, settle. The neighbors are in their yard talking and their dog is barking. A lot going on. A lot of distractions outside today. So that also makes it a lot harder to work on. This would probably be better inside, but I do have other puppies inside working for the day. So I just figured outside would be better. But I didn't anticipate the neighbors being all excited. So that is tough. Sit. Okay, Lucy, stay. We will just do some time. Lucy. Lucy, sit. Stay. Off. No. Good, stay. Good girl. Okay, Lucy. Stay. Lucy. Lucy, look. Yes, good look. Okay, Lucy, stay. Okay, break. Okay. She's very distracted, and now my other trainer just got back from a walk and walked in, and now Bowie is in the living room in his bed and he's barking. So tons of distractions. Typically in this circumstance, just so you know, if there was unanticipated distractions, not something I'm working on, not something I'm adding in distractions, that's another step too, of course, to add in distractions, which naturally happen anyway, but you know, you can use a squeaky toy and things like that to purposely add in distraction. But if there were all those distractions, it would not be worth it to continue doing a stay training session. Maybe I'd work on something else instead for a bit and come back to stay when I have a quieter environment to do it in, just because she's still learning and I want to set her up for success. So I don't want to do it when she is going to, you know, be asked of something that's beyond her skill level. Sit. Lucy, sit. Yes, good girl. Lucy, stay. Lucy, sit. Stay. Yes, good, stay, Lucy. Good girl. So we do a little bit. Okay, Lucy, stay. Yes, good, stay. Good girl. Break. Are you done? You can break. You can break. You can break. Good girl. Oh, you want to do it some more? You want to practice again? Stay. Break. Okay, that was far enough. and a big truck's moving by. So anyway, lots of distractions. That's definitely not setting her up for success. Again, we don't want to have distractions beyond her skill level. So, I mean, someone walking by in a different room, that's not too bad. She's used to that, but different dogs in the background and neighbors talking and all that. It's just too much. So just keep that in mind when you're going to practice. But let me know if you have any questions about the stay command. As I said, Lucy's doing a little bit better than Bowie. Bowie struggles a bit more just because Lucy loves people and loves to cuddle too, but I think Bowie is maybe a little bit more attached to people, which is a great thing. He's super nice, super sweet, super social, but us walking away from him, he doesn't love. So he is up to a couple steps away, but it is a work in progress. So let me know if you have any questions. As always, I am here to help.